In the last three videos, we've talked about seasons, honest pockets of time, the identity piece of all of this, and that oscillation pattern. And I've shared my own story along the way, but today I want to bring it all together because I think the most powerful thing I can do is to show you exactly what it looks like in my real life. So, a few years ago, I was in what I now understand as a survival season, though I didn't have the word for it at the time. I had my son, I'd stepped away from my job to be home with him, and we had just become homeowners, and everything I ever had wanted was right here in front of me. And on the inside, I felt completely lost. Postpartum has a way of making you feel like a stranger in your own life. There's actually a term used for this. It's matrescence. It's best described as similar transition to adolescence. I was exhausted in a way I had never experienced. The version of me who had been ambitious and driven and goal oriented felt like someone I used to know. And here's the thing that made it harder. I kept wanting to be her anyways. I was in denial about my brain and capacity, that it had changed in this new season, and I didn't expect motherhood to come with an identity crisis. I was spending too much time on Instagram, honestly, way too much time. But in the middle of all of that scrolling, something happened that I didn't expect. I started seeing other moms, women in full and hard seasons of life, making tiny, consistent moves towards the life that they wanted. Not perfect moves, not dramatic transformations, just simple steps forward. And something in me thought, what if I just tried that? What if I stopped trying to be my old self and just committed to one thing? So I sat down one afternoon and I wrote down everything that I wanted to change in my life, everything that felt stressful, unattainable, or that generally made me feel discontent. I didn't filter it, I just wrote, and that was very eye opening because it was a very long list. And looking at it, my first instinct was to feel even more overwhelmed. But then I asked myself a question that changed everything. What is causing me the most tension in my life right now? Not what should I fix, what actually feels the most urgent in my heart. At this point, the answer was pretty clear. I needed to get our personal finances in order. It wasn't the most glamorous dream. It wasn't the goal I would have talked about at a dinner party, but it was the thing that was quietly draining me every single day. Everything else would be much more possible. So I named my season Survival, honestly, and I found my honest pocket of time, 25 minutes a week. That was it. That was my real capacity. And I chose one honest step. I was going to spend those pockets of learning about personal finance and building a basic budget, not transforming our entire financial life overnight. Though that happened, I just focused on one consistent action that fit the actual season I was in. And I want to be honest with you about what happened. It didn't feel revolutionary at first. It actually felt embarrassingly small. Just 25 minutes a week to work on something that I'd been avoiding for years. But I showed up and I showed up again. And slowly something started to shift. Not just our finances, but in me. Because every time I sat down in that pocket of time, I did the thing that I said I was going to do, and I was collecting evidence, evidence that I was still someone who showed up no matter what, evidence that I could still be trusted with my own intent. That one goal and one step taken in my pockets of time during the hardest season became the foundation of everything that I teach now. Not because it solved everything, but because it showed me that the framework works. And you don't need a perfect season. You don't need hours of uninterrupted time, and you don't need to be the former version of yourself. You just need one clear, right-sized, honest step and the willingness to show up for it consistently. I want that for you too. Not someday when life gets easier. Now, in the season that you're actually in, your dreams don't have an expiration date, but your capacity does have a daily limit. So, honoring that limit isn't giving up, it's the most strategic thing you can do. In the final video of this series, I want to show you exactly how you can do what I did, but with support and structure. So I put everything we've talked about across these 5 videos into one live working session. It's the video where everything comes together. I have also put together this whole system in what I call the season clarity guide, and the link is down below, and it is the exact steps I took to get out of this rut and really take charge of the life in the new season that I was in. So check it out. It's beautifully put together and I'm very excited about it. And I hope to see you in the next video, see you start thriving in the season that you are in.